How good is the AFS old school linear leverage leg press? What's up, beautiful people? Nathan Clark, Domination Nation. I'm going to show you just my quick thoughts of this AFS remake. Now, this isn't the original. This is an old remake. You can see it's a little beat up. It's the only one I'm willing to pay for, not the original OG, whatever that's got the AFS sticker, because the AFS sticker makes it so much better. You know, pun intended here. I've already got a ton of upright and line and everything in between linear leg press, leverage leg press, non-leverage leg press. So it's nothing to brag, but honestly, I got on this machine for 30 seconds yesterday when I first put it together, and I already knew. I mean, I used this a few years ago. I already could make an accurate, complete assessment of it with very little use. Partly because I just understand machine mechanics, and partly because I've just used a ton of machines, and partly because I have the luxury of playing around and tweaking and improving things, whereas 99% of you guys just use out of the manufacturer. All right, so I'll just show you, some footage of me using it today, the second day I've had it, just for a couple minutes, and I'll give you some initial thoughts. So many of you have used this or know of this. What makes this unique is that you can see the foot plate moves independent. The foot plate actually moves on these bushings independent of the load arm. So it kind of, quote unquote, self-aligns while you do the movement. So it's more of a straight horizontal translation. There's less of an arcing motion as other machines, but you're gonna notice right away my back hurts. If my knees are straight and I'm trying to hit quads, I've got to have my butt up, or it over rotates at my hips and my lower back. Now you can see I'm playing around trying to find the settings, so the back adjusts different angles, not translation. So this is a little bit better with my limb length, but you're going to notice right away, like optimally to hit quads, you really want to have your knees straight, patella straight on. But this machine, in order for me not to over rotate at the lower back, I need to rotate my toes out, and it really hits more adductor than it does quad. So the best position to not over rotate at your back when your butt's on the pad is to rotate your feet out and have your feet slightly higher. Now you can also, I'll show you, keep your just press with your toes and keep your heels off of the pad, which also can help. So you can see here I'm reclined, even this is the furthest reclined position. So this was the most comfortable for me. I don't have to have my butt as far off the seat, but it's very hard to see from this angle. But similar to many other leg presses, because the foot plate angle is not necessarily quote unquote optimal in this position, I over rotated my hips. Now you'll see what happens when I put a pillow or pad under my butt. Actually lines me up much better, and so I'm not over rotating and not causing any sort of spinal compression at the lower back. But super smooth machine. I give it to these guys for coming up with this idea. Obviously, a lot of other companies have copied or improved upon it. Body Masters is remaking this now, which looks like a really cool machine. Really awesome machine, though. So what I want you to notice was Kevin Levrone. Watch when he's using the machine. Watch where his knees are. Notice how his knees flare out. Instead of being straight on, his knees actually flare out. That's the only way you can use this machine with your butt on the pad, which is really biasing slightly more adductors than quads. Instead of having your knees straight on and keeping them close together, which would be optimal for quad recruitment, it's more adductor. So those of you guys who have this machine or remaking the machine, I want you to try using it this way. You'll thank me later. So check this out. This is honestly the best way to use it. It looks funky. I've never seen anyone else do this. You pull the seat all the way out from the seat back and lay it flat. Now you've got like an event. It feels like an Avenger on an AFS. You're doing an Avenger leg movement on an AFS. Now you can actually hit glutes. Now the foot plate and the machine itself is really made to bias glutes, but it's made in a quad dominant seat position. So take this seat all the way out and lay back. Obviously, once I had shoulder pads and do some other things, this is going to be better. But this feels the most comfortable because you're not over rotating at the hips. And look I'm able to actually flex my hips and just about completely extend my hips, which the foot plate in its original state, the motion path, the straight horizontal motion path in its original state, is absolutely favoring glutes and adductors. So you can see I'm just playing around with it again. Honestly, this is just the best way to use the original machine, even though it looks funky. Obviously, you can add a seatbelt, put some bands around it. But we'll call it the AFS Avenger. So it's very similar to the H squat, just a different leverage system than the H squat, than the Avenger, than the hoist rocket, than the Explode. That's what the bushing system is really cool. I'm going to adjust the stoppage on this. So obviously, you keep your feet higher the way it is now, but I'm telling you, this is way more comfortable on your lower back. And with a straight horizontal translation leg press, it's always going to be better if the foot plate's not optimal to recline the seat all the way back. You want the option with almost all leg presses to recline the seat in multiple different angles. So hats off to AFS, honestly, because they're the first ones that really came up with this idea of uncoupling the load from the movement arm and giving you the option of a leverage linkage system in an upright leg press. So when this came out in the 90s, maybe late 80s, you guys historians can correct me, like it's just like you see Kevin Levrone and all these other dudes using it. It's just like, oh man. But you have to understand, like, what's the purpose of an upright leg press? Like an upright leg press, it's naturally should favor quad activation. It naturally should favor adductors, not really glutes as much, mostly quads, because you're always going to be able to get full knee flexion and extension. You're never going to be able to get full like hip extension. So an upright leg press like this by nature should be quad dominant. The challenge with this machine, as with 98% of other upright leg presses, including the pendulum hip press, they're made to bias adductors. They're made to bias glutes, but you're never going to get full hip extension versus like an Avenger or a hoist rocket or an H squat, where it's designed to actually give you full hip flexion and extension in a reclined position. So honestly, that's the important thing to understand and realize. Like, upright leg press by nature should be quad dominant. This is a quad dominant machine with a suboptimal quad activation in its original state. Again, this is not me bagging on a machine. It's a phenomenal, super, super smooth machine. You guys know I'm just extremely nitpicky. And I have the luxury, like I said, of playing around, tweaking things and making them my own and perfecting them. But is it worth the hype? You guys make that decision. But in its original state, I'll tell you right now, it's not as good as my lever leg press. It's not as good as any of these other ones in its original state. After I play around and tweak it, it will be a different story. But it still doesn't make it a bad machine. It's still a phenomenal machine. Anyways, don't kill the messenger. I'm sponsored by nobody. I get no kickback, nothing. So I give you the no BS review and evaluation based on whatever. Not everybody's like me. Not everybody cares about the little details and crap. I could care less if it's diamond, foot plate, or whatever. I care more about the biomechanics and the functional integrity of the machine than what the machine's made of. But you guys know me. I'm just giving you my no BS, no biased, unfiltered opinion. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe below. You're not going to want to miss when I finish this one and I compare it to all the other ones that are comparable.